Right, this is actually second go at part 2 of this video because, oh damn, I've got everything caught in the wire cut here. Part 2 I've just done run at 19 minutes. Now the idea of running these video blog thingy bobs to 3 parts is it's taking a wee bit in it. But yeah, what I was talking about was actually all about Piracy in 3D. Try to give it a big overview because I went on for about 15 minutes about it. Basically, it's the idea that you've got to think back to how Piracy became so widespread in 3D. It was because in the early days, the likes of Mir and Max didn't have learning editions. So if you wanted to learn to be in the industry, you had 2 options. You had to have pots of money, well, 3 options. Pots of money, you had to take a risk with maybe 3 or 4 grand of your own money, or the money of somebody else, like a employer or wherever. Or you thought, bugger that for a game of soldiers, and you pirated it and learned on that, and thought, well, one day when I've made, I've made the money, I'll buy a proper copy. Which is what most people have done over the years, because not many people are going to pull out 3 or 4 grand of their own money without any guarantees. That's what started, and of course that meant there was massive amounts of 3D Max and Mir users because of the most pirated applications. Let's face it. That's obvious. Whether it's because it's easier or not, I don't know, because I'm not into all that sort of thing. So all these massive group of Mir and Max users conglomerated around the industry, and before you knew it, they were the dominant force. Because when they were fully trained. Then they went working at firms, and they'd say, "What application do you use?" "Yeah, well, I use 3D Max, or I use Mir." And of course, if their pipeline was like that, they just built up and built up. So they've now got a massive user base. So when a new user comes in now, they're less inclined, rightly or wrongly, because I don't make those such judgments, to go towards something like Lightwave, Cinema 4D, XSI, etc., than for the big 2, because there's more of a user base. It's down to the fact that, if you are starting out and you know you're going to have some questions, do you start learning an application that has a massive user base? And there's got to be one person there that knows the answer to your question, let's face it. Or do you go for one with a smaller user base where somebody may or may not know the answer to your question? Because nobody really wants to phone technical support, do they? Technical support at any company is crap. Even if it's perfect from their side, you've still got to wait. You've still got to talk to someone at the other end who doesn't actually know more times than enough what you're talking about. There are certain exceptions to that. Pixologic are pretty good with their technical support. In fact, they're more than pretty good. They're astounding. It's like I should actually mention this because I don't mention enough. I try to keep from mentioning and making this into a ZBrush blog, sort of thing. But when I was making volume 1s and volume 2 of getting to ZBrush, when you're doing stuff like that, some DVD makers will just make it and then see a picture like, "Hey, we've made a DVD," but 2 hours before it's due to be released. Now, myself and Kurv worked very closely with Pixologic, making sure that we included the things that were important to the program, made sure that every fact was double and triple checked. So I had to work in conjunction with Ryan Kingslien from Pixologic. Now Ryan is a really, really nice man. If there was ever an Employee of the Year award at Pixologic, that man would win hands down. Why is that? Right, okay, I'll tell you a story. I had a problem with it turned out it was to do with the driver. With ZBrush, wasn't liking it after a new install, and I had to get heads down and get about an hour and a half recorded one night before I turned into bed so I could all get sent over the FTP for the DVD the next day. Now it was Ryan's day off, right? It was probably something like, I'm trying to think, it could well have been something like 11:30 at night, in LA. And I types over and I was like, "Ryan, look, I've got a problem. I need this sorted now. I know you're not at work." And he's no problem, and he spent time out of his own personal time to sort the problem out. Now that is service, simple as that. Without going into massive explanations, I get on well with Ryan. He's a good lad. He does his job well, and that's all you can ever ask. Pixologic have been great towards myself and Kurv with with the first 2 DVDs, because there are more. That's not it. I'm just having a bit of a break at the moment because I've got so much on. Yeah. So what is happening in the wonderful world of Wayne this week? Right. A lot of typing. Hell of a lot of typing. Bit of 3D, which mainly consisted of the teeth monster I did, which you can see the video on on the YouTube page. It's one that was designed by my son. The way we do that is I basically ask him a load of questions, and I take a lot of plasticine, because I always have plasticine. Big tip, by the way, if you want to be good at 3D, have a half a golf ball size lump of plasticine. Helps you to rough out forms and get ideas, because that means you can stand and waiting for a bus in a shop and just sit there, just like and just come up with an idea, stick it in your pocket, get home, either take photographs of it or just get the idea down on ZBrush. Do that quite a lot. So I put down some head shapes. He told me what shape of head he wanted. Asked him, about each of the different features. What did he want out of each feature? And he said he wanted no eyes. Didn't want any ears. Didn't want a nose. Just wanted big, great big teeth. And he wanted smiling as well. And lines, which I couldn't get any more of them than lots of lines everywhere. So I'm assuming he meant detail, sort of wrinkly detail and that. So I've tried to interpret it as best I can. But he has got a fairly good imagination on him. And I think the day will come eventually where he'll pick up ZBrush once he's able to string, proper lines together. And I think he'll surprise me. But anyway. Also, the 3D Creative article, the one on speed sculpting is now out. It's available for download on my site. I will be when I get back over there, because I actually forgot to upload the updated articles page, because I'm a bit of a numpty this week. It's been a stressful old week. I've just agreed to do, I think, 3 series of articles for 3D Creative magazine that should take right into the second half of next year. There's one already done in the bag for the next couple of issues on sort of post-production in ZBrush, and I think I mentioned that in the last videos last week. The next ones are all sorts of things. I won't mention them because just in case anybody goes up the way to try and write them first. It's a bit sort of sub because it's already agreed to. But as I say, they're really good, nice guys to work with. That's basically a lot of the stuff I've been doing. I've had more contract negotiations, more deals I can't talk about, unfortunately. It drives me nuts this, because I'm standing here in front of a camera and you feel like saying, look, I've got all this cool shit lined up that you're going to love to hear about, and I can't actually say a damn word. Because if I do, lawyers will descend from the sky and they'll trample the flowers and leave footprints all over my flower beds. And I can't have that. Actually, I don't have anything to do with gardening. I hate gardening. Gardening's terrible. But I'm going to wind this one up so it doesn't end up being 60 billion minutes long like the last one, hopefully. Because I've got no wish to record this a third time. Try and get right. The last one, incidentally, is recorded at 10 minutes and 9 seconds. Now, the limit for YouTube is 10 minutes. So I'm still going to have to edit that git, which I'm quite annoyed about, to be honest. But anyway, alright, for the 6 or 7 people that do actually watch these, because I know there's not a lot of people watch them, it's basically, I'll see you next week, providing things are happening. Now, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, 2 lots of fingers crossed, so you like that, right? That I can actually talk about some of the stuff I've got lined up by next week. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Because I must be getting a bit bored having to listen to me talking about things I can't actually tell you. So, anyway. Yeah, so that's me rattling on this week about lots of things. Models I'm on doing at the moment, I've got a 3D, sort of some sketch sort of ones I'm doing in ZBrush. One is of Davros from Doctor Who, for those who know what Doctor Who is. Which may or may not see the light of day depending on how it turns out, whether I bother to finish it. I'm also on doing another one as well of Ming the Merciless, because I fancy doing it, because the Baldy Gate, not Baldy Gate, but he's got like nice facial sort of hairs and stuff. I don't like hairs on hairs, and some reason just, if you're going to do that, just use a hair plug-in, 3D Max or something like that. But I like, for facial hair, I like sculpting that in. Something enjoyable. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. You'll probably see them, or you might not. And I'll see you all next time. Bye bye everybody. Bye bye.